The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the Ring and All of Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host, and tonight I got a very special guest, Pinky Petunia, professional wrestler. Pinky?
Been a long time.
Yes, it has, but I'm very happy we finally made it. You're here. You know, it's going to be a good time. We're going to get right into it, okay? Well, first, let's talk about this belt. I see that it's signed by somebody.
Oh, it is signed. And
Tell everybody who signed it.
well, I met the guy when I was doing a character.
Which we will definitely get into.
We'll get into that. It is signed by Bret, the Hitman Hart. And if anyone wants to know, it is not for sale.
I hear you. That's yours. That's your baby. I hear you.
It's mine. But it's a great belt. Having it autographed, it's up in my...
How long have you had the belt?
I've had this... I've had this belt for at least 13 years.
Wow. Now, where did you get Bret to sign it? Where did you go to a signing? Did you go to a show?
I went to a signing.
Okay.
And he was doing his signings, and I'll get to how I got him to sign it.
All right. We'll get there. Why don't we just jump right into the interview?
We'll get there, because how I got him to sign it, there's a lot behind it.
Cool. I just want you guys to know, Dick, our producer, wanted to make Pinky feel right at home, so he got him some nice flowers.
Oh, I feel at home being with the flowers.
Nice. Well, I mean, you should. Me and you talk a bit. You know what I mean? Texting and on Facebook and stuff. So I mean, I know we're both comfortable. You know, talking to each other and stuff. So let's dive right in. Okay?
Can I
What do you
take
need?
a flower?
Yeah, have a flower.
Let Pinky put one in.
Too bad it won't. Will it stay? It won't stay.
I don't know. It ain't gonna stay.
No, but that's all right.
It ain't gonna stay.
Nice try.
It is a nice try. But
all right. So listen, where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Okay, you grew up in Nashua. Okay, when you were a kid, like, did you play sports? Any sports as a kid?
I played sports when I was a kid. I played baseball.
Yeah, Little League and stuff.
I played a lot of Little League.
Yeah.
I was very interested in that, and I was all right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Right. Well, that's okay. That will lead us to the next question. When did you first see or discover professional wrestling? I was 7.
When I first discovered wrestling, I was sitting home and flipping through channels, and seeing the if you can remember back in the day, when WWE, WWF,
Right.
it would always start with the All-American Wrestling with the flag,
Yes,
and all of that.
Now that had to have been around 84, 85.
Wait, yes,
Right? That's what I'm going to say. Probably 84.
It was just before, it was before when Hogan took the belt from the Sheik.
So you were watching it before that. So you were watching when Backlund was the champ.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you go back as much, probably 82, 81, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Were your friends that you hung around with, were any of them into wrestling?
My friends were into wrestling, and we did crazy
So you did the backyard stuff.
We did the backyard stuff, and I remember buying belts at the stores, and I would go collecting cardboard and I would trace out the belts,
You'd make some.
and I would make some.
Nice.
I remember having one of the it was a plastic belt. It was the old AWA heavyweight
Oh,
championship.
okay, yeah.
And
That
it
was a nice
it
belt,
was a melt.
man. I like that belt because it was like more round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used all of those shapes for all of my cardboard belts. And to make them fit, I used to cut shirts
Yep.
and make the shirts to be the ties.
Oh, okay.
So you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
actually wear them.
Nice.
And I was like that little kid with the belt maker,
Right.
and so I was like the little promoter with the little kids.
Yeah. Well, this is a question I don't usually ask anyone. So, because I know how much of a fan you were before you became, a pro wrestler. Did you like follow all the magazines like I did? Like I bought all of them.
I followed all of the magazines.
You still have some?
I still have some.
I got about 500.
We'll get to the story.
All right.
To one of them, but I was in one of the magazines.
Really?
I was in a Pro Illustrated magazine.
No way. That's cool. And what, the arena reports, or was there a picture of you?
A picture.
Really?
There were, like, I can't.
You still have it?
You'll
have to show me.
I still have it. I will find it, and I will get it to you, and I will show it to you.
Yeah.
Once we get into the interview,
Yep.
we'll go back to that because I can't expose it
Right. No,
now
I don't want you.
because-
I don't want you to expose it. So why don't we do this? We're gonna move on to the fan questions. Okay. The first question I'm gonna ask you is from your old friend Maverick Wild, and Mav wants to know, how do the accumulated chronic injuries from wrestling currently affect you now?
They affect me on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah. Now, just tell everybody, because you told me off air, what's the biggest injury you have? The biggest one.
The biggest injury I have is I have 3 broken vertebrae in my neck.
It's crazy. Seriously. Wow.
I do have to say, when I was training, my trainer said, "Wait until you get older. You can bump now, and you can heal today. You can heal tomorrow. But when you get older, it's gonna catch up to you."
Right.
And
He was right, huh?
all of my injuries have caught up.
Yeah. And I know you have, tell the guys what else you have. Like, what else is bothering you? Tell Mav.
I have a bad right knee. I had surgery on my knee.
Okay.
I have a bad left ankle, bad back.
All accumulated through wrestling.
All accumulated through wrestling.
You'd do it again in a heartbeat, though, wouldn't you?
I will still do it again in a heartbeat, even though with all of my injuries that I do have, with the surgeries I have, I mean, I can go through everything, and I can say I got one more match.
Nice. I definitely would love to see that. You want to tell the world who you really want for your opponent? Go ahead, say
I
it.
got one more match, and I want.
Can I say it?
You can.
Cam Zagami. Pinky wants a match with you. I think you should give it to him. Give him the match. I think it would be awesome. We may have to put on a show for Jason to get back in the ring. We'll talk about that later, off air, me and you. But so listen. Go ahead.
Cam, if you're watching, it's a challenge for you.
Cam is a very good wrestler too.
You're very good, Cam. There's a lot of reasons why Pinky Petunia wants to work with you. One more match, Cam, and I will make you look better than what you are
And he's good.
and you're good,
He's real good.
and you are phenomenal.
Now you
but
got
you're
your
not
picture
AJ
taken with
Styles.
them too.
Oh yeah,
You've had quite a. I was
I've-
looking at your Facebook pictures. You got quite a few pictures of you with Cam.
Cam is
Nice kid, huh?
he's a very nice kid. I respect Cam.
Good.
Um,
I don't know Cam well. That's what you know. What I mean, I really don't.
I respect Cam, and I just want to work with him because of when I
Go
was
good with your character.
he
There's
would
no doubt.
he would work well with my character.
Yeah.
Okay, and because of what my gimmick is, Pinky Petunia, with all of my injuries, I don't have to bump as much because I can play my role, and I can get so much heat
Oh yeah.
with my heat and Cam's looks.
Yeah.
The crowd will just hate me, and as soon as Cam works on me,
Oh. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I really do think that would be a good match. I do. I think it. You're right about how he goes good with your character. So Cam, think about it seriously, please. All right, let's get to the next next question. It's from my buddy Daryl, who you met earlier, that's sitting in the control room. Daryl wants to know who was your favorite opponent and who was your least favorite opponent. You don't have to bury the least favorite, but you know what I mean? You can say it if you want, but who's your favorite opponent? Because I know you wrestled a lot of guys.
my favorite opponent, I've had a lot of them.
Yep. You can throw a couple of names out. It doesn't have to just be one. You know what I mean? If you feel like there's a couple that deserve it.
I'll say a few off the top of my head. My first favorite, I gotta say, is Maverick Wild.
Yeah.
And I know you're watching, Mav. You've always carried me through the matches. You've always looked out for me.
Good guy.
You taught me things. You know, if I screwed up, you gave me hell in the locker room.
But he explained it to you, I'm sure, too.
And he also explained
Right.
it. He's just, there's no other guy than Mav that I
Respect.
with the
You
respect.
told me that earlier. You said,
And-
you know what I mean, how much you respect them.
I respect Mav to this day, like a dad. I reach out to him with any kind of a question.
Yep.
You know, with everyday life questions,
Right.
anything. How are you, Mav? And his whole family. I respect them all.
Nice. Who else? Because I think I might know who they are, but I want you to say them first.
And the next guy is Sonny Goodspeed.
Yes.
I worked with Sonny many times, and when I was a kid, me and my family, we grew up with him, and
Okay, yeah, because Sonny grew up in Nashville.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
Yeah.
And
You guys around the same age?
I'm 44, so
Close. You're not the same. I won't
yeah.
tell your age, Sonny. I think I can guess, but I won't.
but Sonny's family grew up with us. My brother grew up with his brother. Rest in peace. I love your brother, Sonny.
That's nice.
And how I got into the business was from Sonny, because there was a show at Elm Street Junior High School.
Oh yeah, they used to run wrestling all the time. I remember the WWF used to come.
And that there was a show there, and Sonny was passing out flyers, and there was something I wanted to do.
Right.
And Sonny gave me the guy's name, and I called him, and
We're gonna get to his name in a minute.
We'll all get there.
How about this? Who was your least favorite opponent? Do you have one? 'Cause if you don't, it's okay.
I do have one. I do have one. He used to be my best friend.
Okay.
Chad Thunderstorm.
Chad McCarthy?
Yeah.
Chad used to work for me. He's now the second shift supervisor over here at the South High School. So he was your least favorite? It was pretty much because you had a falling out?
We had a falling out.
Okay.
But there was a time we were in Connecticut, and he did something to me, and like my eardrum went the other way.
Wow.
He hit me so hard I couldn't hear out of my ear for
Right.
3 days. I'm like, why did you smack me that hard in the ear?
Right.
But
We won't bury him.
I'm not gonna bury him.
Right. Can I tell you real quick something about Chad? He's a hardworking guy.
And
Yes. So, you know what I mean? He's a hardworking kid. But so Chad was your least favorite. Okay. How about we go to the next question? Again, this one's from Mav, and this is the last fan question. And this is going to go right into your career, so this is perfect. Who did you initially train with, and how long did you train before your first match? So this is a great segue right into your career.
I trained with none other than Nashua's own greatest from Canada.
He was great in Canada. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't care what anyone says. The Lobster Man,
Jeff Costa.
Jeff Costa. And I sat in his kitchen at the table, and he just sat looking at me. You're just a little guy. You're just a little guy. And
Can't do anything about it.
And he's scratching his head, and he's like, what do you want to do? I just want to wrestle. I just want to wrestle.
Right.
That's all I told him to do. Just put me in the ring. I just want to learn. I just want to do it. There's nothing else I don't want to do. I just want to do it.
Loved it so much.
And I just want to do it. And all I had on his table, the cost, I paid him in full. The money was sitting right there. And my money opened up the school in back of Chicken and Chips.
Yeah, I remember that school. Was that third floor?
I believe the third or second floor.
I want to say it was the third because I was surprised it was up so high.
Yeah. But like people heard us smashing,
Oh, yeah.
banging, and it was a great time back then.
Who was in your class? Anybody that we might know that was in the training with you at the same time?
Everybody should know who the $66 million winner is.
Mr. Jason Sanderson, Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Great man.
I know the owner of Chaotic. Trained for a little while.
Brian Fury.
Before
he went over to see Mr. Bradley up in Manchester. Who really ended up, that's where he got most of his training from.
Who else was there? Amato.
Okay. Back then, Morbius.
Yes.
And who has now Sethron. Great worker.
I love him to death.
Oh, he's such a good worker.
He's a great worker, great great guy. I love the gimmick.
Yeah. It is a good gimmick.
I see the gimmick, and like when I see him, like to me it looks like it reminds me like of an Undertaker.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. No, seeing we talked about him, and I know how much you love Jen. If you'd like to, say a few nice things about Vanity, because I know you told me how much you really love them guys. So
and Jen, I can't. Vanity Vixen, I can't leave you both out. You guys are my friends. I respect you guys. Every time I go to the Liberty States.
Yep. Todd show.
Exactly. You guys are great. Every time I see you, shout it out to you. and I thank you guys for always being there when I see you guys. And
That's awesome. Now, all right, the last part of the question is, how long were you training before you had your first match? You remember?
I trained, I think, for at least 4 months.
Yeah. And
4 to 5 months.
who came up with the pinky gimmick? Was it you or Jeff?
Uh,
Or somebody else?
Jeff came up with the Pinky character.
Okay.
So it was incorporated as to do like a Gorgeous George.
Yep.
Back in the day, I had the blonde. I had the blonde hair.
Right.
So I had to strut the looks and
Right.
play the role. You know, it was a great role.
Did it come to you easily? You know what I mean?
It came to me easily.
Nice.
You know how to work around the ref.
Yep.
And how to get heat with the fans, and yeah.
I watched you wrestle plenty of times too, and you did get heat because I was booing the crap out of you most of the time.
There was there was one time I lost my shirt in one event. There was a couple that I knew that I used to work with, and
Yeah.
they used to always
A shoot job?
yeah.
Shoot job. Okay.
And I said something that I wasn't supposed to. And I'm walking around and I'm yelling at the fans, throwing these candy lipstick.
Yep. I remember that.
And Jeff was mad at me at one time for doing this. And the fan was a little kid. And
Uh-oh.
I can't.
What happened?
I can't believe I said it when I was walking around. The kid was probably 11 years old, laying in his mother's lap, and you know, and I said, "Yeah, retard." I made the kid cry.
Yeah. That wasn't very nice.
But at the end of the show, I had to give him a photo, an autographed photo. I had to give him a Pinky Petunia shirt.
To make things, smooth things over?
To smooth things over.
Did it work?
It worked.
Good.
But just out of everything, you know, trying to get the crowd to hate you, and
Right.
like, it was just something that I didn't expect to say.
Yep.
And by doing it, like I just felt so bad.
Oh, it happened. Don't worry about it. It's over. It looks like you're reliving it.
Yeah.
You know, Pinky, relax. Listen, we're gonna play the name game, which is gonna lead us into some of your big matches. Okay. So if I say the name and you remember the matches that we talked about off air, make sure you throw it right in. Okay. So I'm gonna start with guys that I know you didn't have these matches with, just to get us going. You first told me you wanted to talk about a guy from Texas.
Yes.
Sammy
Guevara.
Why don't you tell everybody? Sammy's a hell of a wrestler, hell of a talent. Have you met him?
I haven't met him.
Okay.
Like I follow him on his social media sites, because I mean, just being a wrestling fan and seeing his style, how he works, how he does things, how he says things from when he was a kid before he got into the business.
Yep.
You know, he's like, you set your goals, you set your dreams, and this is where you can become. Don't let nobody say you can't do what you want to do, because if you have people saying that you can't do what you want to do, you ain't gonna do it.
Right.
And that's what I said when I was a feel like when I was in his shoes, before I found Jeff. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to get into the ring. And just by what he says, it's like things that brings back memories out of me.
Right.
And
He's a hell of a talent. That's for sure.
he's a wicked talent.
He's been around a while too.
And-
Not a wicked long time, but what, like 8, 10 years?
Yes. I mean, if you guys can follow him, look him up on
Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram, YouTube. He does have a Sammy Guevara store.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, you can get his own merchandise. You know, here I'm plugging this guy.
Right.
If he's ever watching, SammyGuevara.com. You know,
Nice. All right.
there's a plug for the guy.
There we go. All right, we got Sammy out of the way. How about Dr. Heresy? You ever wrestled Dr. Heresy?
I haven't.
You remember him?
I remember him,
He used to run
And-
EWA also.
and I remember him, but I haven't worked with him.
Okay, so we'll move over to the next guy. How about Flash Fahrenheit / Sting Ray?
I worked.
Paul, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked with him.
Yep.
At the Hudson Lions Hall.
Yep.
And
When he was Flash, or was he Stingray?
Stingray.
Okay.
Because instead of having they had to have the lights come in through the front door and to make it look.
Yep.
It was interesting and but it was fun. He was a great guy.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll just keep them short. You don't have to go on. How about Big Daddy Dave Walker?
I've worked with him. He was a big dude.
You can always, just tell him, if you like them, if you're friends with them,
Oh.
whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe a funny story, whatever.
I mean, all the guys I've had stories with.
Right.
I mean, just because of who I was and what I did, just how I had to play my role.
Right.
With lockups and go behinds and
Which was right with your character.
was right with my character.
Right.
And when I would go for pinfalls, my pinfalls were not this. They weren't pinfalls. They were literally covers.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had to go for the cover, and I'm like,
Yeah. A little bit mixture, like you were saying earlier. Gorgeous George, Gold Dust, maybe a little
and that-
exotic Adrian Street, just so you know what Pinky's character was.
and I had to take adorable Adrian.
Sorry, Adrian Adonis
Yeah.
also.
And I had to take all of that and incorporate it
Right.
into what I was trained to do, and separating that character from who I really was.
Right.
It's very. It was hard to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes hard to do.
Right. So it wasn't easy. All right. Well, the next name I'm going to bring up is going to lead us to one of the matches that I told you I want to talk about. Rip Morrison. Now, you had a roller derby death match with Rip, and I want to ask you if this is true. Did you really wait 5 hours before the show to tell them you didn't know how to roller skate? Is that true? I have a feeling it is.
It's true.
It's true. Were you afraid to tell them, or why'd you wait so long?
I was, because I just I was back then the type of person that if you threw the match at me,
Yeah.
I always wanted to do it.
Right.
I didn't want to say no and have someone else do it.
Right.
Because I always love to do these
Wacky. One of Jeff's wacky matches.
These wacky matches.
You did quite a few of them, too.
Oh yeah, we can get into all of them.
Oh, we're gonna.
Because every time there was a wacky match, if they Pink will do it. Pink will do it.
Yep.
We'll have Pink do it. Pink will do it.
And you did.
And I did it. I mean, I bought a pair of roller skates and I'm trying to practice at my house. You know, I'm holding on to the fence and like
It's not an easy thing to do the first time you're on skates. I know that.
no. No, and I thought, you know,
you're killing me.
I thought I'd be able to do it,
Right.
you know, and
They like riding a bike, Jason.
it wouldn't. No.
Speaking of that, if I'm not mistaken, there was a bike that got involved in this.
Oh yeah.
Who was managing you?
His name was Cody,
Yeah.
and he was out of Mansfield, Mass, or
Okay.
somewhere, and he had his own TV station too, and he
Yes, I know.
he put a lot of my stuff on down on his local station,
Cool.
and I got recognized down there. You know, every time we went to Peabody and stuff.
Well, didn't he I think you had only maybe made not even one lap, or maybe you were on your second lap, and then he came flying up on the little girl's bicycle, and you grabbed the back of it, and then you wiped out Rip, who's a very large man.
Big man, and here I'm on the skates and he's
Holding
got
onto the bike.
the bike and I'm right behind him and I'm like, I don't
remember this match.
I don't
It's
gotta
funny.
do nothing. I don't gotta do nothing, and I'm holding on. I'm holding on for dear life, and until like I wiped out, bam, and into the table. It was like being checked from a hockey
Right.
star, bam, right under the side of the wall. Yeah.
Who ended up winning that match?
It was Rip.
Rip ended up winning that match,
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
So it definitely wasn't the winner gets a date with
No.
I mean, if you won, you got a date. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes. But now, who did you have a toilet bowl match with?
That match was, I know Wolfie was in that match.
Okay.
I can't remember who was. There was, I think there was like 4 or 5 guys. I think,
So it was like a 4-way scramble or whatever, a 3-way dance, something like that.
and there was a lot of. There was like 4 guys in it. I think Mav was in it too.
Okay.
But I know my head went in it, and inside the toilet bowl was on this big stage,
Right.
and we had this big trash bag in there.
Yeah.
And good old Wolfie, you know, puts things in the toilet bowl, you know, in this bag, and my head goes into it, and instead of like bobbing for apples,
You bobbed for poop.
yeah,
Thank God it wasn't real poop.
it was it
Candy bar,
It was
right?
it was a candy bar. It was one. It was one of the. It was like one of those $1,000 grand things with.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
With the
100 grand.
with the nuts in it and everything, and
Or was it a payday?
it was, I think it was a payday.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was payday.
Yeah, not after the show it wasn't.
Right? Right?
But Wolfie, being a strong man that he is,
He's
you know,
huge.
at that time I was weighing close to 300 pounds,
Right.
and he put me in, boom, telling me on the way down, pick something up. So
you did.
I picked something up coming out of there. I choked on the way up. You know when you go underwater and you get all this
Yeah.
stuff in your nose.
Yeah.
You know, and
Oh,
like,
she had time breathing.
and I was sick for 3 days.
Right.
But coming up out of the water, there's this big brown, soggy thing in my mouth, and I'm like,
Oh, that's
"Rah."
hilarious.
Like,
I wasn't there for that one.
when I came up, when I got out of it, I spit it out of my mouth. My mom was at that show at the time, rest her soul. But she wasn't happy with Wolfman after that.
Right?
She yelled. My mom was, like an old lady at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Look what you did to my son.
Wolfie got the lashing, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So now I know you had at least 2 dinner date matches. One was with Mav, and the other was with Sonny.
Yes.
And you won both of them. So they had to go on dates with you. Do you
Yes.
remember the dates?
The dates were after the match.
Yep.
We set up the table. Set up the table at the by ringside.
Yep.
And they were nice little setups, and I the gimmick was if I win the match, I get the date. If I lose, I lose the title.
Right.
And I won the matches just to get the dates.
Right.
And I remember on Sunny's because it was a more of a clear, because I really, really wanted this to go over well.
Right.
I mean, the match itself was, I'll be honest with you, was horrible.
Okay. All right.
Like me,
You're honest, though. That's nothing wrong with it. You can't be on top of the game
yeah.
every night. Right?
It was a horrible match, but the fans didn't care.
Right.
They just
Sure they did.
They just wanted to see the guy in Nashua kick the heck out of me, which he did.
Right.
Yeah, but I still won the match dirty.
And had the date.
Had the date. And I had Cody, my manager, at ringside, and and here's Sonny on the other side, and
Yeah, this is the second match.
yeah, he's got the ketchup. I thought he's gonna put the ketchup on the hot dog, so I can feed it to him.
Right.
I'm like Sonny, I'm gonna feed you that, and in the back of his head, he's like, "Boy, here you are."
Right. Right.
So Sonny squirts the ketchup in my face.
Nice.
Mama's, Cody's like, her name Mama. Hey, this is supposed to be a dinner date match. Nope. Sonny rips my clothes off, and I had a, I knew that was gonna happen.
Right.
And I made sure that on my
What you had underneath would be embarrassing.
yes, what I had on underneath was gonna be embarrassing.
Yes.
And I had the bottom of my underwear a black stain to make it look like I had a.
Yeah. You pooped.
I pooped. Here I am, down to my underwear, in front of 500 people in the Hudson Lions Hall, and
That's funny.
it was a hell of a date.
Right.
Sonny, I love you if you're watching.
Hopefully he is.
I hope you're watching this, because I dedicate that match to you, and the dinner date was just one of my favorites. I still got that VHS tape, Sonny. I wish I can.
I'd love to see some of that old stuff.
I got that tape. I want to somehow get it to a DVD so
Right.
I can upload it so you all can see it again.
I would love to see all
And-
that stuff.
And so you can see how Cody put the dot.
Right.
Cody put the dot on my underwear because
Yeah.
he put it on TV, and all you see is this bouncing.
That's
It was
hilarious.
fantastic. But when I went through the locker room, Wolfie was sitting there reading a book. He saw me go into the locker room with no clothes on, and I remember Wolfie looking and going, another day at AWA.
Absolutely. Well, we all know that Jeff was the last of the county promoters. There's no doubt about that. I mean, somebody even mentioned it, I think it was Mav, on the posters that you sent me the other day, right?
Yes.
Only he would put the Carnival of Stars.
Yes.
You know? All right, listen, we're gonna keep going with the names and stuff, you know, because we only got about 16, 17 minutes left, okay? How about Butcher Hughes, Kevin Hughes?
Oh,
You must have a funny Kevin story. Everyone does.
everyone has a Kevin story. Everyone has Kevin stories. I remember when we had a show. To give away a car. Kevin got the free car at the show.
Yeah.
And I can remember Kevin. Leave that car alone. I'm gonna kick you.
Yeah.
And
That was Kevin.
yeah, and just every time I saw Kevin, he would always give me a good slap.
Yeah.
Hey, Pink, who you working with? Tell him who I'm working with.
Right.
And always with the ring bell. He doesn't get the ring bell right. He's
Right.
He doesn't go up to the ring to get in to do the ring announcing.
Did you see the last time Sonny was on? Sonny said Kevin doesn't need a belt. Ding, ding,
Yeah,
see? Right?
yeah,
That one and the tape on his ear? That's not me.
yeah.
That's wacky Kevin.
Kevin is just.
He was always nice to me, though.
Kevin was something else, man.
He was. He is, we should say, because
Yes.
he's still around.
Like Kevin and Jeff, they to me were
Laurel and Hardy?
yeah, Laurel and Hardy. Like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
If you were to put them on an island, they could.
I couldn't even picture it, to be honest with you.
There's no explanation. Like, I would hate to see them in jail together in the same 14 by 14 cell room.
Right? Yeah, no doubt.
Like, but they're the most. They're the
Good men, good guys.
good men, and you got Jeff, a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Kevin Hughes, the bigger guy.
Kevin could work, though. And he was up in Vancouver, too.
Kevin can work.
Yeah.
And all Kevin would probably do is just stay on the neck.
Right.
Stay down.
That's it. All right, so,
And he would get great heat out of it
Of
for
course he
20
would.
minutes.
all right, so we're going to keep going on the names. Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas.
Guy that entertained the crap out of me, man.
Oh,
back in the
yes.
day. Still does.
And I talk to Johnny all the time on
Nice.
Facebook. I talk to his mom on Facebook. I post her things,
I
and
just met his parents at an APW show a couple months ago. Very nice people.
very, very,
Very nice.
You can't meet a great set of parents.
Right.
And his mom, I love his mom like my mom, because she reminds me of my mom,
Right.
because she looks like her.
Oh, really? His
Like,
mom is very nice.
his mom looks like my mom, and I respect Johnny because of it.
Yeah.
And just how Johnny treats me when I see him. Whenever there's shows coming around, he always hits me up, and he's like, "Pink, the Chaotic is in the area,"
Which is great to see him be a part of that.
and Liberty States is in
Yep.
the area.
Yep.
And
Todd's company.
so
Todd Sople. He's got a good little company. I heard he's got a lot of good fans over there, too, from what I hear. So you go to couple of his shows?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's good. Good for him. That's really good. Because like I said, we only got like 12 minutes, so I need to get into your other character that you played, the hitman, Bart Hart. Tell us how that all began. That was your idea, if I'm not mistaken, right? It wasn't Jeff's idea.
It was something that I wanted to do.
Yep.
After the Montreal screw job, and that's how I got that autograph.
Right.
There was Brett was doing a signing.
Do you remember where?
I forget where.
Okay. Was it in Mass or New Hampshire?
It was in Mass.
Okay.
And I dressed up as the character.
You did dress up as Bart Hart.
I dressed up as Bart Hart.
With the wig? You had a wig, right?
I had the wig. I had the outfit from head to toe.
Right. I do remember that. In the
Into
jacket.
in the jacket, which I'll show.
Yep. We'll show it before we go off the air.
It was interchangeable where I had the pink tights
Yep.
and the black top,
Right.
or the pink top
Black.
and the black
Nice.
and the black
With the pink on the side and on the leg.
and the pink.
It's like, I could have swore I seen you
Yes.
wrestle as Bart Hart a couple times.
Yeah. And that gimmick went over so well.
Right.
The first time that I played it, and when the music hit, I let the music play
Yeah.
for a few minutes.
Yep.
And the fans are going nuts. They're like, no, is it for, like...
And then you come through the curtain and they must have been pissed.
I come through and I'm coming through backwards.
Yeah.
With my arms out, doing the
Yeah,
Bret Hart.
the Bret Hart.
I'm working the character, and as soon as I turn around, they just booed me, and the fans were like, "We got shafted again." But it was a great character.
Right.
And to get to that story in the magazine,
Yes, please.
we told Jeff this out. This is when I was with Chad.
Okay. Tag teaming?
We weren't
feuding.
tag teaming.
You're
We
feuding.
went to go see a pay-per-view in Canada.
Okay.
It was WrestleMania 18.
And you and Chad went up to...
We went up to
Toronto, right?
We went up to Toronto.
Yeah.
And at that time, I let Chad use my Bret Hart outfit,
Yep.
and I used my. I had another character too, Double H.
Double H. Not Triple H,
Not
Double
Triple H. It was a Double
What
H.
did the H's stand for?
Uh,
Do you have a name for that, or was it just Double H?
it was just Double H.
Okay. Obviously a playoff on Triple H, Nashua's own.
Nashua's own.
Triple H.
But at that time I had my hair was longer,
Yeah.
and we met a Hogan, and we met I forget who else we met up there that was dressed up. We met a Hogan and a Flair. So it was Hogan, Flair, Triple H, and Chad as the Bret.
Yeah, the Bart Hart.
And we met the guys that did the photos for the magazines.
Yeah.
And we told Jeff that we're gonna go up to Canada and we're gonna dress up as our gimmicks. And that's how we got into.
I saw that picture and I didn't know you guys though.
Are you kidding?
I swear, yes. But continue. Go ahead.
But we were in front of the Toronto Sky Dome.
Yep.
and we got our picture taken as all four of us.
Crazy, huh?
And Jeff told us, he goes, and Jeff used these two terms. He goes, if you two clowns do that, I'm taking you guys to the buffet, and everything was on him.
Did he take you?
He took us because it made the magazine.
Right?
So
It did make the magazine.
We got fed from Jeff, but it was for a long time that story that
right.
These two clowns went up there and they dressed up and.
That's cool. Did you used to go? Because I know Jeff. They used to go to the Nashua House after the matches sometimes. Did you go there a lot?
We went to Nashua House.
They got great food. Nashua House of Pizza, right on Kinsley Street.
Yes.
Right? No, Hollis Street.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it east or west? Because I don't know.
I'm from
Lowell.
I think it's West Hollis.
West Hollis Street, Nashua House of Pizza. They say they got the best spinach pizza out there. Little plug.
And we went there. Then there was times we went to that buffet in Manchester across from the mall in New Hampshire. Yep. But that was fantastic. I had a great time.
That's awesome. So like, what were some of your bigger matches as Bart Hart? Do you remember, like, you know what I mean? I think you wrestled Mav a few times as Bart. Am I right?
I wrestled Mav as Bart. There was a time I wrestled Gino Martino.
Oh man, love.
And this was
Hammerhead.
Yes, and it was a little hall in Hudson, and it was to set up a feud between him and Sonny, but I defended the title against him.
Did he hit you with that elbow off?
Yes.
He nailed you with it too.
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
I got hit really hard, and I was seeing little stars, and I'm like, oh my God, get me out of this match.
I still love that move because that's what Cactus Jack did. But he would lay it in, man. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't out there to hurt. He wanted it to look good.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing great things right now. He's got the hottest head in the world.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he's a super guy.
Super guy. And I think Guinness Book of World Record too.
He's the thickest head.
Yeah.
Thickest forehead. It's crazy, huh?
And just watching this guy taking a board though with a nail.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I'm like,
I get a headache just watching that.
Yeah, me too.
And to think, him and Ali and Anthony Rufo, they were such real big guys. They both ended up losing a lot of weight. You know, unfortunately, Anthony's no longer with us. You know what I mean? God rest in peace. But on Gino, what a hell of a worker he was.
And I just can't say anything more about him. He was a great guy. You know, everyone that I worked with, you know.
You liked them all, huh?
I liked them all.
Right.
I got all the respect for everybody, you know, from the past, for the future guys. You know, every time I see the future guys, you know, you guys are all great in doing what you're doing, you know.
I got to ask you a question. Jeff used to bring in some big name guys that were no longer with the WWE. Was he bringing them in when you were still working, or was this years later?
This was years later.
Okay, so I want to skip that then, because I was going to say, how did you have, relationship with those guys? But let's get right into, I remember a guy that wrestled around here for a while, Egghead.
Oh, yeah.
He was from Nashua, too. Right?
Yes, I remember him.
Any funny stories with Egghead in the match, or any,
I haven't.
He got yelled at a lot, though.
I haven't had matches with him, but he was a funny guy. I mean,
well, you brought up this guy to me off air, and you said you'd really like to talk about him. Big Rick Fuller.
Yes, I've never worked with him, but he was just like a guy that I always thought would go all the way.
Well, he did get pretty far, though. I mean,
And-
come on, he wrestled
and-
for WCW on
Yeah.
Nitro. I mean, honestly, he was a good wrestler. He was huge.
And-
He is huge.
I wanted to see him.
Yeah.
Like
No, me too.
I
did too.
he just had that.
He has it,
He had the look,
Yeah.
the build.
no doubt.
You know, he just had. To me, he had everything going for him.
Yep.
You know, I'm like, this guy's gonna be a star.
Right?
Like,
He's a local star. We got a minute and a half. This is your chance now. Something we haven't covered yet that you want to get off your chest? Anything that you were thinking of talking about that we didn't get to? Is there anything?
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you,
You know,
here. I really am, you know.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. We can do this again down the line, and you can come in next time as a fan, and we just talk wrestling. But how about I throw one more name at you, okay?
Donovan Dijak.
Donovan Dijak. Yeah, let's do it. What about Dijak?
Like,
Big fan of his or what?
I'm a fan of Donovan. I'm glad he's where he started out,
Yes.
trained, where he's going. He's got a future ahead of him.
He's only been in the business a
And-
few years, 4 or 5 years.
And Dijak is just
What about the next guy that might be taking the leap besides Flip Gordon? Josh Briggs.
yes,
Another big guy.
another big guy.
Only a couple years work. Has been on the show. Have you seen this episode?
I've seen the episode.
Kid's incredible. Flip Gordon.
Flip Gordon, short time in the business and going to London, doing all
Yeah. It's incredible. And, real quick, I'm just going to throw the names out. You don't have to say nothing, but talent like Vern Vicalo, Dan Terry, Brick Mastone, Cam Zagami, Christian Casanova, Jason, Pinky. Awesome having you on the show. You ready? We're out. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.